Discuss all things revolving around pizza ninjas and Bitcoin ordinals. Today, we're going to be discussing a look at runes, IRL events coming right around the corner, what we're expecting out of those, and of course, all things pizza ninjas. This show is on X and on YouTube. If you want to pull up on chat, either on X or on YouTube, we'll pull you on up as far as the chat goes, and we'll look at any questions, comments, anything that you have. Be part of the conversation. This show is, of course, brought to you by Ninja Alerts and Pizza Ninjas, who have been absolutely cooking late recently with tons of activations, tons of whitelists, and so much more to come. And we're about to make a strong appearance at NYC that we're probably going to talk a little bit more on next week, but kind of tease it this week. With all that being said, for further updates, be sure to follow Ninja Alerts, follow @TO, and we actually just made a Pizza Ninjas exclusive Twitter. Check that out. It's Pizza Ninjas Community. I'll show it later in the video. With all that being said, I have my two special guests, my two regulars now. We got Chris and it's Coma. Got a very important question for you guys. What is up?
Man, it's so many. You know what's up is everybody's attention to pre-sales. That is, dude, everybody's just completely chasing that shiny object right now. I have not been, but what about you, it's Coma?
Not my crypto portfolio, but we just had a conversation about this. But it seems like the Ordinal space is going up, so can't complain there.
Nice.
Yeah, I've been on that pre-sale meta. You know, I'm in the trenches way too much. I won't spend a ton of time on that because it's, you know, not quite ordinals, but dude, it's a headache and it does affect the whole market. You know, there's a cycle. Bitcoin goes up and now and then that money flows into like Ethereum. Well, then Ethereum goes up. That money flows into like these like, you know, small lower cap tokens, memes, and all these others. And then you have this pre-sale meta that like starts off good and then tons of money gets either stolen, hacked, lost. You know, we just saw the whole thing with Slurf. Like they got sent $10 million in pre-sale. That $10 million accidentally got burnt. So those people, that's literally like $10 million that won't come by our pizza ninjas, you know, like that's how you got to look at it. Like, so it makes sense that some of that side of I'm not saying the whole market's down because of this, but it makes sense why some of that side of the market is down. I mean, that's $10 million and a lot of people that got burnt. But with all that being said, you know, we did talk about this before. You know, the crypto is looking rough right now, temporarily. Bitcoin's down 11%. I think Ethereum's like 14. Bitcoin ordinals are thriving. They're kind of seeing the opposite effect. I think there were some big events in Bitcoin ordinals that really extracted liquidity out of the market, not in a bad way, just like there was big events, you know, like we had the Orange Eyes OMBs that were pricey, so people were liquidating to be able to buy them. We had the Runestones that are still trading right now, what we're going to be talking about in this. We had a lot of big things happen in like 1 week, so everybody was like trying to get together their money to buy these things. But overall, market recovered as far as like it looks like a lot of the floor prices are around the same they were like maybe 2 weeks ago before the dip. I don't know. Do you guys like check your ordinal bags like consistently?
I don't know about it's Coma, but my first ordinal was the Pizza Ninja. And so I was like, oh, cool. So I'm going to get this runestone thing. Like, so I was checking. And I didn't know until so long after I had already just been FOMOing and feeling bad about myself. There was like a snapshot in November or something. And I was like, oh, wow, well, then I don't feel bad now. But I didn't know that. And that was, you know, at first I was just kind of like, well, where's mine? I want one. But it makes a lot of sense. So what about you? It's Goma. How's your ordinals bag been looking lately?
Man, honestly, my Ordinals bag is not doing too bad, but at the same time, I've been a lot more careful about the things I put my money into. I've been into a lot of shitty projects, not gonna lie. I don't know if I'm allowed to curse here, but yeah. So I've
You're good,
been
man.
kind
You're
of
good. Yeah.
I've been burnt by a lot of crappy projects, whether it's like, you know, it's like a rug pull basically right when you join and you go like, holy crap, did I just put like 2 ETH into this like shitty project by like 16-year-old kids or something? So like I'm trying to be a lot more careful, and it's hard to get a lot of like NFT slash ordinals like and be part of the community for each one. So I'm trying to be really selective about which communities I want to be part of. So like even like this, for example, I only do this because I have a ninja, but you know, if I have like 5 more other like things I need to like look at and be part of, then it's just hard to keep up. So I try to just be a little selective unless I'm like trying to do a quick flip.
Dude, that's good. That's something that we've as a team have talked about a lot in the Ordinals ecosystem, is just because it's still such a new ecosystem. So like, one, developing those communities, but like we're fully aware like people are spread to so many different projects, and that's okay. But it's also like we have a lot of holders that might be silent or more silent because like they're involved with all these other things. I mean, that's how I am with a lot of other projects. I'm holding a ton of stuff. That doesn't mean I'm super active with activations, you know, or super active with anything, which, you know, gives me a good perspective being on the Ninja Alerts team, because like I'm aware what it's like to hold something and like almost needing to be like spoon fed what's going on, because like you're just not keeping up with everything. It's a lot. So I definitely think it's the project's job, you know, to kind of like just alert their holders of like, you know, what's up, what's happening and everything like that. Speaking of which, we just did something pretty cool yesterday, and honestly exceeded my expectations as far as attention goes, man. I don't know if you guys saw, we did another free mint on Trevor's. This is about to be really white screen. I apologize. I don't have dark mode on right now. Sometimes, you know, people get pressed by that. So let's check this out. So yesterday, Trevor announced the free mint for this open edition, the Prophecy, which is like Leonidas's, the guy who launched Runestones. We did an open edition mint with his ninja, of course. He's of course a ninja holder with his like runestone floating. It looked really cool. There's also some tidbits in here that are really cool. I don't know if you know everybody might have noticed. Lifa FIFO helped us out. He has his own collection, which is Wizards of Ord. Definitely awesome right there for taking the snapshot. The snapshot included all unlisted. Keep that in mind, because here's the alpha for you. We might or might not have some activations coming up soon that only unlisted qualify for. And I'm actually going to, I want to hammer that point in real quick before I move on to the next part of what I was going to say is I know a lot of people in these collections like want to list something for like 1 BTC, 2 BTC or whatever, just in hopes to get that 1 in 1,000 chance that somebody's going to buy your thing, you know, for that price. But keep that in mind, not just with our project, but with other projects, there's a lot of unlisted snapshots, dude. I had one project that was in, The Plague. They literally before Christmas did a snapshot of all unlisted frogs. Those unlisted frogs got a share of the company. like that's how big of a deal it was to unlist. Now they gave heads ups like I'm doing right now for you. But yeah, it's a pretty big deal. So if you're really not concerned about flipping and you just have it listed for an insanely high price, that's just, you know, something to keep in mind. Before I share the rest of this, do you guys have any input on that?
I mean, I agree. Number one, that if you're doing it almost as like a meme of like, yeah, I'm selling it for 69 BTC, like that. I mean, like cute, but that would suck to miss out on a lot of the cool stuff that is only going to, you know, the unlisted. So like, that's, yeah, I mean, I think that's good to kind of shout that out. I think the other side of things is I've seen projects that like constantly are making changes. And if you're not yourself in the Discord monitoring every single thing they do, it's like they assume that you're the only thing on their radar. Those projects, that's a mistake. I love that, you know, Pizza Ninjas and a lot of other, you know, communities are just being very verbal in multiple different ways about telling people on spaces, on live streams, in the Discord, like on the timeline. Like, I think that's kind of what you got to do if you want to have a bunch of happy holders and not be like, oh, well, we put it in the Discord and like nobody saw it. You know what I mean? Like that's a bad way to miss out. Never a good feeling.
Yo, there's 54 pending transactions right now on Runestones. That's insane.
Let's
people
go.
are just gobbling them up right now.
Bro, we have a ton of people in chat, by the way. I started to miss you guys. Let's give some shout outs. We got the GOAT, LFG, Stins, GMGM. We got some seals up in here with the Mog glasses, ARF ARF. Got pizza from Emmy. Got an Oni Force, which, by the way, I did mint the Oni Ordinals. Really excited about those. Somebody did ask a question. The wallets that were listed did not qualify for the mint. Yeah, if the wallet on any of these collections that were mentioned, Runestones, Pizza Ninjas, or Wizards of Ord, had them listed, they did not qualify. We got Ninja. We got an orange-eyed OMB holder. Got Luck in here saying let's go. And Stone. Dude, people are so excited about Runestone. I'm super excited about Runestone. Got Enjoy saying hi. Got Julie say laughing at something I said. I probably say a bunch of dumb
No,
stuff.
Julie's
Oh,
laughing.
he's laughing at his ninja
Other
uniform.
Chris, other Chris. Oh, I just got that. Yeah, the outfit is freaking amazing, dude. How do we like? I can't believe we kind of glanced over that. I feel like we need to just kind of take a moment to like let this soak in for a second.
I think this is just a new norm now. So if he's not wearing a ninja mask, it's just like,
Because I
you know,
live
is
stream
this even
every
real?
day. So like, why should I look the same as I did on the previous live stream on this one? Like, I gotta dress up for you guys. This is special. It's worth it.
I love it, man. I love it. I am actually going to work on getting me one, and I did. I showed up with my hat today, so that's a little bit ninja-ish. But besides
Trevor
the
needs
hat,
to Trevor needs to send us some ninja masks. for us
I'll
to
get
wear.
into that. I will reach out to him specifically for a ninja mask. Before getting back in, somebody said, "How do we get volume if no one lists, or how do you? We need flippers." I agree. Yeah, like definitely. Like every project needs volume. It's not. This isn't a statement for everybody to unlist. It's like one of those things. Like if you want to qualify, then don't have something listed. If you want to take the risk of constantly having it listed, then do it. I know for me personally, so I've been an NFT trader long before Ordinals. I was trading NFTs since like beginning of 2021. 90 some plus percent, and I did well on it. 90 plus percent of the time, if I went to sell an NFT, I would just floor the NFT. Or if it was a rare trait, then okay, maybe I'd put that over floor, which that's kind of not really meta anymore. Like people will buy rare traits. And one of the things I like about ninjas is people actually just, instead of basing on rarity, they kind of just buy things that they resonate with or like. So if you have like a really dope, you think it's really dope or whatever, then like I see people listen to that over floor. But yeah, it's just all about your plan. Like I'm obviously no project saying like everyone delist, which at that moment, not talking about Pizza Ninjas in general, like that's how easy it is to set the floor. I mean, OMB did that before the Orange Eyes. They were 1.6 Bitcoin or something like that. And there was only 70 listed out of 2,000. They set the floor, And so like, if you want that project, you got to pay 1.6 Bitcoin or you just don't get in the project. It's that simple, So anyways, I'm just saying like if it's really all up to the individual strategy. Like I do see more often than not, somebody just like kind of list something 10x over floor just in hopes. I even want to do that sometimes. And you're kind of like losing the risk versus reward there for some of these snapshots. Again, this is not just a Pizza Ninjas exclusive thing. A lot of projects on Bitcoin Ordinals and Ethereum do this. So it's just something like more in general to look out for.
What's your philosophy on like rarity? Like, do you think that's just kind of like a meh, or is actually valuable in some regards to an NFT community?
So this is a great question, man. I'm more on rarity for things that like I am very long term on, and I'm aware that you have to like find the right buyer. If I'm looking to buy a project and flip it short or midterm, floor is the way to go. I mean, floor is so much more liquid than rare stuff. But I'll say like like going off of our project, I really wanted like this like super rare ninja originally because like I'm part of the team. But it was fair for everybody. Like obviously I got in pre-sale because like I was there and I actually made the videos myself, like and everything like that. But besides that, I didn't get any edge over any of you. So what I would have loved like this, like, crazy ghost ninja or something like that with coffee or something like that, that really makes me pop. So I see a lot of people have that like on Azuki. Shout out to Azukis. I know, Chris, you're involved in that community. Like those spirit Azukis just slap, man. Like they're just different, Some D-gods are the same way. There's just some projects that just have those like really rarities that like pop, obviously the crypto punks with like alien punks and stuff like that. So for me, it's more of like a flex than it is like a selling point. And it will sell for a premium, but you got to be patient. You got to find that buyer. And here's another thing. Here's some like side alpha on some lending programs. I know Arcade does this. Liquidium, be watching for this. They'll actually let you borrow against your NFT or Bitcoin Ordinal and base it off of the floor price of that rarity. Okay. That's where things get a little crazy. Let's say your Bitcoin Ordinal is worth $1,000. You could, use it as collateral, and let's just say you get a 1-to-1, whatever. You won't get that, but you can borrow $1,000. Or you have this really rare one that the floor trade is 10x floor. If somebody wants to give you a $10,000 loan on that, they can. And you obviously don't have to pay taxes on that loan because like you're just borrowing. I'm not a tax advisor, but you're just borrowing the money. So it's like that's the very interesting side of this too. So it's kind of a complex question, like why rarity matters, why it doesn't matter. I think at the end of the day, like most of the time it doesn't matter. Like finding like stuff that you think is cool or you think other people will think is cool, it's probably the best bet that's like near floor. But I don't know. What do you guys, what's your thoughts and takes on rarity?
Dude, I was sitting, I minted an elemental, and I got this dope gold sword, but it was this girl with pink hair, and I was like, well, I don't like know what I should do with that besides meme myself and put like, jokes about selling wigs and using my IP, pink wigs and shit. But I kind of was just like, I kind of felt stuck with it because I was like, damn, I'm not going to get rid of this thing when it's like gold swords and shit are a big thing in Azuki, right? Like gold stuff is just good. And there's even a filter on the website. Like you could literally just look at any of the NFTs that have gold, like, weapons or clothes or whatever. And so I just sat on it for a while and I waited until that recent pump. Right after the whole Weeb 3, the whole like everybody speculating on a token. And I had it listed for 2.5 ETH. And, a lot of people were down on those at that point, pretty bad. And in perspective, it's not even about, I know everyone says 1 ETH is 1 ETH, but like I bought it for $4,000 and I sold it for 6. So I wasn't mad. Like that
That's
worked
dub,
out.
dude.
But being like holding the mid rare, that ain't it. That spirit, yeah. Then you're smiling, but no, not the mid rare. So I did roll it into a Pizza Ninja. So not mad at that.
Oh, heck yeah, dude. That's awesome. I forgot the exact numbers, but a really good example of this, Beanie actually put out a tweet about this. I'm not the biggest fan, but he does give good takes sometimes. And it was about the Pudgy Penguins. Like the Pudgy Penguin floor, I forgot where it started. It went from like 5 ETH and it like hopped all the way to 20 ETH. Whereas like their rare ones, like the golden penguins and all that, they went from like 20 to 40. So like you had the floor, if you would have swept floor, you would have had a 4x. Whereas if you would have bought a rare one early, you would maybe have a 2x, and it's not as liquid. So again, one of those things you need to think about when it comes to like if you're going to hold this or if you want to flex on it or like whatever your reason is.
Yeah, I think it really is more of a flex at this point. And it's so hard, to your point, it's so hard to like sell those really, really rare ones because there's a lot less buyers overall. I am actually kind of, it's pretty interesting when you were talking about the lending thing. Like what if you have like an NFT that you only have that trait and maybe you like collected all of the ones that have that rare trait so you could define your own floor. I wonder if you can game the system.
So you mean the high-end art market?
Yeah, the high-end art market, if you like try to get a loan from it and it bases off the lowest floor of that rarity, but then you own all of those rarities, so you could just be like, hey, I'm gonna post this for $100,000.
I mean, you could. It's kind of. I mean, it goes back to like setting the price of a floor collection. You still need a lender to agree to that.
That's true, yeah.
But like contractually over one of these sites. But at the end of the day, if they lend, they lend. Dude, speaking of which, I literally had a Pizza Ninja. I lend for Pizza Ninjas all the time. Like I like to provide liquidity if people need to borrow against their ninjas. And I had a ninja wait the entire 14 days because right now they're like 14-day loans on Liquidium. He waited till like the last hour to pay last night. It was crazy. It wouldn't have really mattered. If anything, I would have like profited more. I just didn't want to like go through the whole like, if he defaulted on me and I had to sell to get that money back, I didn't want the whole like, oh, why is Chris selling or whatever. It's just like, oh, this dude defaulted on me, so I already have my ninjas. I don't need more ninjas. And so yeah, he literally like the last hour, so it's pretty cool. Yeah, shout out to Liquidium for that, by the way. If you're not familiar with what I'm talking about, as far as Bitcoin ordinals go, you can literally like borrow against your Bitcoin ordinal. I've done it several times. I've borrowed against my ninjas. I've lended for ninjas and for other projects. And you get, obviously, if they pay you back, you get interest on that. Like I lended against the ninja for, 14 days. No, I lended for the ninja for 14 days. I just got $70 in Bitcoin, which doesn't sound like a lot, but like to me, it's low risk because like I believe in the ninjas. And it's also $70 after Bitcoin crashed 11%. Like it's probably going to be like $80, $90, in a couple weeks or something. And who knows what it could be in a couple years. So, you're getting paid in Bitcoin. So like you kind of can't go wrong with that, in my opinion, unless you're a bear, like, on Bitcoin. And then you could, and then you could borrow, like which is what I also did. Like if you need the liquidity fast, maybe you have the runes coming up, or I mean, honestly, that would have been a good thing. Like the whole runestone, it dropped as like 0.014 or something like that. And I was like, dude, this thing's going to cook. I was just way too busy. I had way too much going on. But like you could have borrowed against one of your ordinals, swept runestones, sold one or two, paid back the loans, and had a free runestone. Just boom, man. Like,
how does it work though if somebody defaults? Like, walk me through that. So let's say dude didn't pay in the last hour. What would you have done like next? Walk me through that.
I would just get his ninja. So like that's it. Like I would get the ninja. He'd keep the money I originally gave him. But like, obviously you don't give them the full ratio. So technically it's a deal for me most of the time. The only time as the lender you're taking the risk is if the floor dramatically drops. So like right now the loan on ninjas is like I'll pull it up. Like I'll show you guys this because this is actually like very valuable to know. And I would even go to say valuable.
This is the alpha.
Yeah, this is the alpha, dude. This is specifically valuable for ninjas too. So like this is like, brought to you by Pizza Ninjas. But if you're holding any Bitcoin Ordinals project, I would recommend looking into this. So let me go ahead and pull this up. I wasn't even done with I got distracted. I wasn't even done with my original post earlier where Trevor went viral, but we're going to come back to that.
We'll get back to it.
Yeah.
We got to make money.
Yeah, for real, man. Dude, this is like, when I found this out, this is like a superpower, dude. Like I was like so excited. So this is like Liquidium. And these are like things you can borrow or lend against. So like, let's say I lend, if I want to lend for the Pizza Ninjas, right now it's a 0.029 lend, which is like stupid cheap. I mean, the LTV, meaning like you're giving 60%, 59.9, but you know what I mean? 60% of the total value of the thing. So basically if I were to lend for this, I'm like taking a bet that this floor is not going to drop below 0.029. If it drops below 0.029 and he defaults, then technically, I lost money. But so to answer your question, if they default, you just keep what they defaulted on. You just keep the asset. So the way that I look at it is, let me stop sharing the screen, is that if I'm comfortable buying a ordinal at that price, I'm just going to lend for it. Cause like if they default, I have the price that I wanted to lend for, like I would be thrilled if I could get a ninja for 0.03, so it's like, to me, it's not as much of a risk. It would be more of a risk if you're doing like higher end assets. And like, when I say higher end, like if you would have lended for an OMB like last week before the orange eye drop, and then somebody defaulted on you or whatever, then maybe you would be in trouble. But for a lot of this stuff, that stability or you trust, then yeah, you lend, they default, you now have that asset. You choose whether you want to keep that asset. I mean, it's your NFT or ordinal now. So then you choose whether you want to just, floor it and then take that price difference, or if you want to keep it.
Nice.
Does that make sense?
Dude, that made a lot of sense. That was cool.
Yeah, man. It's a cool thing, man. Cause like I try to buy a property, like for a very low price. It was non-financeable. So literally like I couldn't collateralize anything I owned to get money to buy this property that I wanted to flip. I literally, if I would have had like a CryptoPunk or like a very expensive asset and I wanted to do a longer duration, Liquidium only offers like shorter ones right now, but I'm sure they're working towards longer ones. I could have literally taken out a loan against an NFT to buy a property, put time into that property, flip that property, pay back my loan. It's instant. Like it's crazy, like how some of this works. And this is like DeFi, in a nutshell. Like this is like one of the superpowers of it.
So if the duration, like once the duration ends, is it just like you just have to pay back? Like that's what you meant by like, oh, he had 1 hour left, and
he had 1 hour left to pay me. If he didn't pay me, I'd get his ninja.
Nice.
But and I would say like he did pay me back. And yeah, so normally if people default, they either like gambled the money away, they forgot about it, or they're trying to play the market. Maybe if ninjas would have gotten like, hammered and they went down to like 0.03, because my loan was like 0.04 something. It was like lower 0.04s. Then maybe he would have just not paid it back. And he could have actually like, bought another ninja for a cheaper price than what I lended to him. So he would have won in that situation. But yeah, to me, it's a pretty cool thing. Like kind of once you get the hang of it. And then there's some like cheaper ones. Oh, and all that being said, I'm a farmer. Liquidium is anytime you're doing this, you're farming for points that are probably going to be BRC20s. So there's a little extra nugget there. So cool stuff with lending, man. Cool stuff with ninjas. I am always willing to give you money for your ninjas. And if you pay me back, cool. If you don't pay me back, cool. That's the beauty of lending.
That's
I
how
want
he
to go
gets all
back
those
to
ninjas.
what's that?
That's how he's collecting all these ninjas.
Yeah, man. Just
He's not
letting
even
them.
buying them. He's just loading his money out and just
No,
taking
dude,
it.
ninjas pay back, bro. I have never had somebody default on me, which is bullish
So
because, like,
That's cool.
yeah.
if you're defaulting, either the price dropped too much and you're just like, oh, this benefits me just a default, or it's kind of a bearish thing for the project because, like, people forgot about it basically or whatever. So the fact that, like, I've actually never had anybody default on me on anything in Ordinals. So that's kind of, to me, that's kind of bullish for Ordinals. All of my loans have been repaid. And I've only done, like, maybe like closer to 10 loans or something like that. I have people I know that's done like 30, like, or more. So, because there's 16 days and I don't like to do a ton of it. If I had a lot of liquid, I'd probably distribute it more. But anyways, on to the next subject. I was showing this earlier and I just want to kind of give attention to it, bro. 500,000 views on this Leonidas runestone. What the heck? I was
Damn.
I was shocked by that. I saw it like cooking last night and I was like, my gosh. And you might be thinking, like, what was going on? Maybe that was just like a weird Twitter algo or something. But I honestly think it kind of displayed on the amount of people that minted it. Because if you go to the page, let me make sure I got the right page. 42,000 people, 42,286 people claim this, man.
Dang.
And there's 377 going on right now. So, like, clearly people, like, cared about this. So I don't know. That's crazy numbers to me. I honestly, like, again, like 500,000 and then 44,000 mints. Like, that's extremely bullish to me. What do you guys think?
Dude, that's cool. Like, so I mean, I was stoked to grab it. I think it's just as far as one of these things that we get as kind of it's like they throw you a bone. You know what I mean? It's like, oh yeah, cool. I like that. It's like it's a collectible. But dude, it was cooking immediately when I got that. I actually backed off until I think there was about like 8,000 that had already been claimed by the time I grabbed mine. But dude, like it was popping. Like everybody was in there. That number was just rolling up fast. So yeah,
dude,
man, I think people responded really, really well to it. They wanted it.
And no one's gonna say. I mean, I think most people wouldn't say no to a free mint, right? Like, like at the end,
Yeah,
like,
I mean, no
you pay
matter
for
what. I mean,
fees,
look,
but
there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pending transactions. Like right now, as we're speaking, what is that? 3069. I mean, let's see. Like, hypothetically, if we're not talking like big numbers here, but that's also not the point. Like, this isn't, to me, it's like you're not really trying to flip, whatever. But yeah, I mean, you're automatically up.
you're
Like,
gonna flip free.
it was an $8 mint ish, depending on the
Yeah.
fees, and it's at $44 floor price. So I mean, you're up 4x immediately. So I
Yeah.
don't know, but it's kind of a no brainer to me. And it was also just cool. And so I don't know anything that anybody else doesn't know on this. I just know that Trevor's done stuff in the past and has rewarded based on like people participating in that kind of stuff. I'm not saying this is alpha. I literally don't know, but it wouldn't surprise me if he did something fun with it. Like, oh, if you're holding one of these, like, something might happen. But again, that's literally just speculation. I'm not sure. And that's nothing I've ever heard.
This is the third one, right?
So there was the partnership
Cat,
with
right?
Kermit, not partnership, but like, basically the Kermit Open Edition that
Laser
happened
Eyes.
last week while we were
Dojo.
live, actually. And by the way, shout out to Kermit. He like clipped that video of us talking about it. And got a lot of people excited about it, and that was a really cool animation. What was the first one?
It was the cat.
Laser.
With,
Yep. Ours. So yeah, this is the third one. So I'm wondering if there's going to be something there for people that have all three. I am speculating. I don't know. Please don't go trade based on what I'm saying.
Ninjas in New York. That's going to be the next one. But you got to be in New York. You have to own the first three. That's my speculation.
You want to be a ninja in New York. I'm going to tell you that right now. I don't think I'm allowed to tell you guys what we have planned.
I may or may not bring a ninja mask to New York and make content there. And
I'm gonna miss it. I'm so sad.
I thought you were gonna be in New York at that time.
I was. I mean, no, I'm coming in a couple days after, but it is what it is. Yeah.
So I don't think I'm allowed to say what the event is yet, but I believe it's the 4th and the 5th that are the dates that we are going to have our thing, and it's going to be amazing. I'm really looking forward to it. I think a lot of people are going to be excited. It's going to be one of the most unique things that I've ever seen anybody attempt. As far as like the Bitcoin, well, definitely as far as Bitcoin ordinals, but as far as like the NFT space goes. So if you're a ninja going to New York, get ready. And if you're not a ninja going to New York, then you might want to consider getting a ninja so you can participate.
That's awesome. I can't wait, dude. I think that's going to be a fun one. I'm just getting a one-way ticket because I don't know what's going to happen there. If there's so many companies that are in New York that want to do things, but I kind of just keep telling everybody, like, if it can wait, I don't want to do it right in the middle of all the fun and the action. Like, if it can wait, why don't we just shoot some content like on the 7th or so? I don't know. Like, I'd rather just come home after I'm done being paid to do cool stuff and then like fly home then, as opposed to like, nope, I got to get home, not for any particular reason, but I just got to go. Like, I'm trying to hang out, trying to do all the cool stuff.
Yeah, for sure. I hope we can connect, not just at the pizza place, at our Pizza Ninja event, but like the just in NFT NYC. I think that'd be really cool. I think there's going to be some really cool stuff going on there.
Yeah, man.
I gotta check my schedule again. I may be coming on Friday, but I can't remember now. So I'll let you guys know.
Nice.
So I said, Trevor, thanks for responding to my post yesterday. Appreciate genuine people in this space. Awesome. I don't know the context of that, but Trevor is a genuine person, and so I'm glad that he responded to that as well. So a couple of things on my tabs that I want to talk about. As I said at the very beginning, do check out. We have a Pizza Ninjas community page. This is legit. We affiliated them, so this is a legit page under the Ninja Alerts branch. It's just going to be mainly Pizza Ninjas content. Our last post was just the fact that we absolutely cooked on whitelist giveaways. $1.4 million, probably nothing. Aloha guys, finally got audio. Yo, welcome 808 blockchain. Nice. We've been talking about all kind of IRL events, NFT lending or Bitcoin ordinal lending, Pizza Ninjas, all that fun stuff. Of course, our event with Leonidas. Did you guys get Runestones, by the way?
Not I.
No, I did not.
I was late to the game.
I thought I had a couple of inscriptions that were pretty early, but maybe not. It is what it is.
Dang, man. Yeah, so Runestones are cool. They kind of cooked, not going to lie. We can take a look at them in Magic Eden right now. Runestones is, of course, by Leonidas, 0.043. These are going to give you runes. If you're not familiar with what runes are, because we are live on YouTube as well. And I'm familiar with most people on Twitter might kind of be familiar with some of this stuff, but and YouTube might be as well. But I find that people on YouTube are kind of hungry for the very basics of this stuff. So runes are coming, the first block of the Bitcoin halving. And basically these are going to be like other tokens that you are going to be able to be on Bitcoin. So very similar to how we had BRC20s, just different. And it's made by Casey Rodarmer. Casey is the one who created Ordinals theory. So this entire Pizza Ninjas Ordinal space is in existence because of Casey Rodarmer. And so all that being said, my DJ inside just wants to say runes are going to cook. And that's why people are speculating, because if you hold these runes, then they're supposed to give you runes tokens. Those rune tokens, people are speculating, are going to be valuable. And a lot of protocols that already are building, like Xverse, I use Xverse so much, are building support for runes, which is really cool. So like Xverse is already, I thought I had this pulled up. I guess I'll have to scroll for it. Xverse already added support for runes. So you'll actually be able, here's the deployment, but you'll actually be able to like see your balances and everything. And they're going to have that up and running, like ready for as soon as this goes live. So here's the test net. You can see like these are like, so Ordi was the BRC20, as I just mentioned right here. And then you have Rune, which is like Rune token. So like that's going to be like a square. So you have like the circle, the square for that. And so these are going to be supported, I guess, right off the bat with Xverse. It's already
in the square for what? I don't see anything. I just see the same screen.
Oh my gosh, you guys let me talk that whole time.
No, that's why I looked up, because I was like, wait,
dude, interrupt me and be like, yo, shut up.
No, let's go back.
Bro, I was looking at my flight, and I am coming on Friday at 3 p.m. So if you guys are doing something,
you might be able to make it.
Yeah, let's go.
All right, so let's look at this again. So here's runes.
He was showing a video the whole time. What the heck?
Yeah, I was showing the video the whole time. It's all good, guys.
I was reposting the space to be fair. I was like,
kind of like,
I don't think my guy's doing what he thinks he's doing.
That's like having like pizza in my teeth, and like none of my friends like tell me about it, and then you just look dumb the whole time to everybody else. Like, you guys are supposed to have my back on this. but you
I
just
got
left
you. I was
me.
just late.
You just left me to look dumb to everybody in chat, man. So
Yeah, you gotta
uh,
shout out 808 blockchain. He said he got 10 or 100.
Yeah,
I can't
10
tell.
runestones.
100%
oh,
or
let's
10.
go. I
Yeah.
got 10. Let's go. Congratulations, 808 blockchain. I don't know if this is on play with 404s, but like that's amazing if you are playing off of 404s. I heard that like 808s are going to be a thing. 404 is a very interesting contract on Ethereum where, dude, it's actually like mind blowing, but this isn't an Ethereum space. This is a Bitcoin space.
He's probably
But
just from Hawaii. That's my guess. Give me a thumbs up if you're from Hawaii 808 blockchain.
So the tokens, as you can tell, the Ordi, this is a BRC20. They got the little circle thing. Let me make this bigger. They got the little circle thing for Ordi, and then they got the little square for Rune. So Xverse is developing support for runes already. So hypothetically, when runes take off, like when they launch, it's looking like Xverse is going to immediately have support. So all these things that you see pumping in the market that revolve around runes are in hopes that these runes are going to cook, because BRC20s did. So you have Runestones, you have R6, you have some of these projects have like maybe things under them that do runes. Another one I can think off the top of my head is Rune Guardians. I actually got airdropped those for having a ninja. And then there's another one I think I got airdropped for holding a ninja as well recently. So the whole runes thing, that's what a lot of people are talking about when they're talking about runes, is just these tokens coming to Bitcoin. So how are you guys feeling? Like, what's your thoughts on runes?
Dude, so I was doing some work for a company called Oil, and they have another company called MetaShrew, Sandshrew. But they're basically they're helping people build out meta protocols. So I got to hear some like way over my head conversations with Domo and all the BRC20 crew and like all of that. So I'm gonna be in another one of those on Thursday, in a space with the L1 Foundation, and like it is hard for me to like grab onto anything that like I don't mean to say this in a bad way, but like that I care about, because it's so much tech, like way like very, very like builder oriented. It would have been really good for me to go to ETH Denver to kind of connect with a lot more like the real builders, We
just partied.
So I mean, I've been to so many parties. I don't know, but it would have been cool to party with builders. But no, I think the whole thing with people building on runes, and then some people saying like, "Oh, is it runes or is it BRC20?" I think it's an and situation. I don't think that it's going to be like one thing decimates the other. It's just cool that there's new things happening for people to build on and go nuts. And I think Casey's got such a cult following that like you're just going to see so many people go nuts and release a bunch of cool new stuff. And kind of to the point of like when you're talking about like Liquidium before, we wouldn't have that if it weren't for the builders that were just like, it would be really dope if somebody could just lend, or they could borrow, or they could whatever, and really scale a bunch of stuff out like that. And like the same also applies with the indexers and all the stuff that it's like there's so much stuff that takes time to build and have to reinvent the wheel yourself. And that's what was cool with the project I was working with, was like they were providing a lot of that, so you could just focus on the stuff that was really going to solve problems and fill in the white space in Web3. So I think it's just going to be cool to see new stuff pop up out of nowhere.
Yeah, I mean, even like Leonidas, I feel like he wasn't really like hyping it up like it's gonna be the BRC20 killer or anything. Like maybe he did say it after a couple of episodes on the Ordinal show, but I felt like when he first initially started off with this, he was just kind of like, "Hey, this is something that is really new, and we just want to just try it out." And like there's no like real pressure to deliver, even though they killed it. Like they were just like, it's gonna be free, and we're gonna just drop it, and then we'll see what people do with it, right? So I like that mentality. Obviously, there's a lot of hype with it because of the following and everything like that. But I'm curious. I'll just let it like sit for a bit and then see what happens. And if it does end up taking over BRC20, then so be it. If not, let the market decide. Yeah.
So Trevor gave one of the best explanations I've ever seen. And I'm sure from a technical perspective, there's somebody that can break it down and say, "Oh, well, this technically doesn't make sense," or whatever. But like for the general population, like, you know, a basic understanding. He compared, and I wouldn't say he's bearish on BRC20s, but like he compared BRC20s to like a lightning cable for your iPhone, where like there's still up until like the, you know, the newer ones for the USB-Cs, there's still like a significant amount of people that have and use lightning cables because only lightning cables do that, you know. And then you have the USB-C cable that's a little bit more universal. You can plug it into your new iPhone now. You can plug it into your camera. It works with your laptops. It works with all this other stuff. And he compared that to runes. So he compared lightning cable to BRC20s, runes to runes to the USB-C cable. Just being able to like, it's just going to have a better market fit and kind of work more universally with other protocols and other things. So again, I'm sure there's somebody in the audience that like is way more technically inclined than me that would have 10 arguments lined up towards that. But for my basic understanding, from, you know, from one mid curve to whoever's out there listening, that was my basic understanding. Trevor also wrote this amazing piece. So I don't know if you're aware, like Trevor actually writes some pieces for Bitcoin Magazine. And I'm not going to like read this article or anything, but he wrote this piece. And a lot of like throughout this piece that he wrote for Bitcoin Magazine, they talked about all the way from the technical stuff to like why even runes on Bitcoin, like how's this going to benefit? Literally has a section called benefit. And I actually do like this section. I'll kind of point this out. Basically, he calls it the shitcoin casino. And he says that it contributes to fortify Bitcoin while also drawing in more users, developers who are taking an interest in other blockchains. He also argues that it possesses a minimal on-chain footprint, promotes conscientious UTXO management, and benefits the I thought he said this in here, but like benefits the miners of the fees. So I don't know, like essentially at the end of the day, I don't even think you have to understand all that. What you have to understand is just like people like to buy things that are fun, man. Like, and I think when it comes to Bitcoin, there's so much liquidity on there. So like you just have this like massive amount of liquidity, and then you have these fun new tickers that might do fun, goofy stuff, and you want to buy them because of that. You know, and some people don't, some people do. But I don't think it needs to be overcomplicated from like most consumer perspectives. Like you said, you work with oil, Chris, or you worked with oil. I met some of them in Puerto Rico when I was there. I don't know if they're on Triple or what too, but you know, they need to understand it on a deeper level. But most people, it's just like either you want to be part of the protocol, you're going to be part of the meme culture. There's probably going to be meme coins launching this that are just funny and stupid and have no purpose. And you know, you buy and want to be part of it. So I don't know. I'm excited about them. BRC20s did great, and that's what people are trying to compare them to. Is like, you know, BRC20s, like if you were to mint Ordi and you held your Ordi, at one point you had like multiple hundreds of thousands of dollars just for like minting and holding, you know, for whatever that mint and hold cost was, which was like under 100. So people are trying to make that happen again. Now, whether you're going to get that like 100x again, you know, that's beyond me. But I do think there's going to be a lot of opportunities as long as the market's still hot as well. But runes is definitely the next big thing. And like, I think anybody like grinding for it or thinking about it kind of on the background of their mind, you know, they're ahead. But at the same time, I think a lot of people are going to get burnt too, because they're buying this very high price stuff and speculating that the rune value is going to be higher, you know? So that's where you're going to kind of get a little, you're taking a risk, you're taking a gamble, you know? And I'm not saying that for Runestone particularly. Like I got airdropped one Runestone. I'm still holding my one Runestone. I wish I'd bought another. I was too busy last week. I have a couple of other things that have Rune Guardians. I have, there's recently a rune, I don't even remember what it was called. I basically it was actually kind of a cool function. I had to send it to a burn address to be able to get all my tokens out of it. So like me sending it to a burn address triggered this rune totem, and the totem then gives me a rune balance, or I could have done something different with it. So it's kind of cool how that was activated.
Dude, hey, do you know anything about Saturn? Because like there's a company called Saturn, and they've got like where you could like trade satoshis and stuff like that, and they have this like order book and all that, and they're mentioning that you're going to be able to trade runes, and I'm like, what does that even mean? Like you're trading runes. Is this like, are they like individual like satoshis? Like what? I don't know. Somebody make it make sense.
Yeah, I mean, just like BRC20 is like their runes are going to be able to be traded back and forth the same way. That's probably what they meant. But yeah, I know Saturn. They did that. One interesting thing that Saturn did was that rug token. Were you part of that?
Yeah, and I actually came in late, and so they're doing a bunch of tokens, which is kind of like, are they the first shitcoins? You know, it's like, are they going to be the first shit coin on runes, or like how? I don't know, man.
Well,
It's
see,
crazy.
so those rug tokens was different. So there's BRC20s that are like fungible tokens on Bitcoin.
Mhm.
There's the rug ones. That protocol is kind of similar to rare sats.
Mhm.
I don't know how I like the rare sats, but the rugs were interesting. I'm not complaining because it was free. It was just an interesting way to do it. They basically took the sats that were already in your wallet and like gave them a name. You know, they essentially like, you know, colored on the sats saying, oh, these are rug tokens. And again, it's free. Like, why am I going to complain about something being free? It was just like a very like interesting way to do it. And then of course there's going to be runes that's going to be, you know, tradable as well. What are your thoughts on that, Skoma?
I'm not familiar with Saturn, so I have no real strong opinion. But yeah, no, I'm not sure.
All I know is I learned all about UTXOs because I was like, wait, what are all these things I have to click on to like buy, like get these Satoshis moving? I was like, wait, there's like chunks of Bitcoin. It's not like it was such a learning thing for me. And like, even to say the word UTXO is like, what?
Dude, but the more I think
It's
about it,
hard.
though, it's like some of this stuff is like so fun to us, but I wonder if it's just like just way too complicated for
Oh,
the
yeah.
normal man, normal woman. You know, like how are you actually? Is this ever gonna be geared towards like
No.
the public
No
audience? Or is
normal
it
human ever needs to know what a UTXO is. Like, that's
exactly right?
ridiculous. That's crazy.
We're buying the base layer of this tech though, and so like they don't have to know what a UTXO is.
Exactly.
Like
Yeah.
they, you know, just like a car, most people you don't have to know what an engine is or like how the engine works, but you're going to pay money for the car.
Yep.
Like that's how a lot of the stuff's going to be. Like on runes, there might be like a pizza ninja token. This is not an actual thing. I'm just saying, like, you know, hypothetically, and like we all know about it. Maybe it does some cool things within the pizza ninja community. Again, literally throwing this out there. And that's, you know, that's what it's revolved around. And then maybe it gets seen by somebody like just like a regular person. They're like, oh, that's a funny name for a token, and it only has a X market cap. Maybe I can buy this and it goes up in value. They never have to know the base layer or what it is or what protocol it's on. They're just like, ooh, that's a funny ticker. You know, I want to buy that. I mean, that's essentially what crypto is, dude. Like most people don't know how Bitcoin works. They don't know how Ethereum works. They definitely don't know how these like layer twos or are like anything is like, roll ups or any of that works. They just know like kind of that like they almost view it as a stock market. I'm gonna buy this thing, even if it's well known, even if it's like, you know, Solana. I'm gonna buy Solana at 200, hoping that it goes to $250. Like they don't care that Solana is a fast blockchain, and you know you can do like, you know, gaming type stuff on it and like cheap fees and all that. They just buy token because number go up. And I at the end of the day, for a lot of these things, either they're gonna buy token because number go up, or they're going to use the like programs that have the blockchain as the underlying tech, which also makes number go up because, you know, they're using the tech without even knowing they're using the tech.
Right.
Well, all I know is I want to go on a Pizza Ninja sponsored trip to Hawaii because 808 Blockchain is throwing an event on the 25th of October, and I would love to go there.
Holy shit, that would be the true alpha
That'd be
right
sick,
there.
dude. I need to run that one by Trevor. We do got a couple things in chat that I do need to pull up real quick.
Oh, mint done?
You know, we got a couple minutes left too. Sorry, I've been missing on chat. We've been rolling tonight, guys. We've been rolling tonight. We got Vincent, which by the way is a content creator on YouTube and on Twitter. Utes. Vincent mentioned to me about buying Ninja. Did you buy that Ninja yet, Vincent? That'd be awesome if you did. Would love to have you in the crew. Someone on Discord asked if the Prophecy Ordinals will qualify for Runes tokens airdrop. Oh, so yeah, I talked about that earlier. In short, I don't know. Like it won't. Yeah, I mean, I would literally be speculating like anybody else here. Like it wouldn't surprise me if you know we did something. It wouldn't surprise me if we didn't do so. I don't know. I know in the past with our open editions, Trevor has done fun things that qualified you for holding certain things. So one can only speculate, and I can push for that speculation, but I don't know.
For sure.
Hey,
Brian, which is super active. Thank you, Brian, for always being so active and helpful. We're so early that all the separate niches are in the same conversation, so some have to hear things they don't necessarily care about that much. I like that a lot. That's kind of in regards to what you're saying earlier, Chris. Users listening to Dev Space is basic. Yes, I get that a lot, dude. because like, which is good for me because like I'm not on the tech side and I'm learning more and more as I go. But like some of these spaces, dude, like it's so funny. I'm sure I wonder if both of you experience this. Like in person, like when you're not around other crypto people, you're like the smartest crypto person in the world, dude. Like you know everything about everything, you know. And then you go in one of these spaces and you're just like, I'm an idiot. I don't even know what that sentence meant. I don't even know what that. I don't even know what he said. Is he speaking in English or Solidity or like I don't even know, bro. Like, you know,
that's how I feel about my wallet. They're like, "Oh my god, you have so much crypto," and I'm like, "No." If you go on to tech, if you go on to, if you go on a crypto Twitter, everyone's like making M's.
Do you remember though listening to people talk about gas when you first got involved, and like if you were around in 2021 and you're like, wait, you're spending hundreds of dollars in gas? I was like, how am I ever going to get into this? This is crazy. This is absolutely bonkers. But yeah,
Dude,
I mean,
I
I definitely, so I actually threw myself out there earlier today and even was saying, I don't make enough content about the space. I basically make content to help creators because that's what I care most about. But the truth is, it's also just massively intimidating to go throw your name out there and your experience and go make the content about the space because there's so many smarter people just circling around you like vultures, just just waiting for you to make a mistake and you know, trip and break your neck. They're gonna eat you alive, you know what I mean?
But the
So
thing is,
there's that.
they may be like smarter technically, but like they can't make content like you and Chris, right? Like there's an aspect of storytelling that's like a skill, and
For
they don't
sure.
have that skill. So like, yeah, you could like walk circles around you about all this like crazy, you know, like UTXO and all that stuff. But like the reality is like people like on YouTube and stuff won't even listen to that. Like we didn't
Right.
really go too technical even in these conversations, and people are still here, right? If we start going into this rabbit hole, they're gonna leave.
Totally. Well, I
that's,
will say,
that's what I want the vibe here to be too. Like these communities space are these community videos that, you know, us, we do here. Like I want the vibe to be like, you know, if people were just like hanging out, talking about this stuff, like in a normal setting that aren't developers, like how would that sound? I think that's essentially like what this is. And also
Yeah.
to your point, Chris, I've been making content like so long, but I've been making crypto and NFT content specifically for like 2 years. And I used to be so intimidated because like there are so many people like smarter than me, and there still are. So I'd be like, crap, like what if I like missaid this tech aspect or like misstated this? But this being I've been here for so long, this market's been kind of different because like my heart is I want to help people. Like I've done some recent videos on meme coins showing like regular people how to buy meme coins like when they're early, not when they hate Coinbase or whatever. So I've kind of flipped that script. I'm even like, you know, doing the typical like let's go, bro. Let's if you got something to say, just say it about the glasses because I'm here to help you. You trying to tear me down is going to boost my algos, you know,
Yeah.
and like kind of flipping that switch of like I'm just not a jerk. Like that's not my personality. But I also am pretty like relaxed. Like, you know, I'm not gonna let trolls on the internet like ruin my day. So I've kind of flipped that script to just like own it, man. Just like,
I love that.
okay, I said UTSO instead of XO. Like you cry me a
Hey,
river.
and that's actually a content creator trick that a lot of people don't they just walk right into it. They don't know. But a lot of creators will bait you by doing something wrong on purpose so that you blow up the algorithm by correcting them and come through, and they're sitting back and laughing at you because you just pumped their bags. But so there is that too. But I will say just this setup and doing this with you guys, it's actually, I know it's making a difference. I had Leon from the Unfungibles team reach out, and he was just saying that he loves what he saw. He was watching all this stuff and just said it's super good. And he was like, he's thinking about getting a Pizza Ninja. So Leon,
Let's
go buy that
go.
Pizza Ninja, bro.
We need to clip that. You know, let's go. I got I almost hit the laughter. Let's get the little I got my Roadcaster, Chris. I know what I'm doing.
There you go.
I got my buttons.
I think in every episode, like we let's all think about this. We should say one really, really bad wrong thing so someone
Yeah.
can clip it and then be like, "Did you hear that on the on the show?" And then we'll, you know, I'll just bring more eyes to our
It's
to our
true. That's
episodes.
probably the smartest way to go. Because I was talking to Shotgun earlier from Espresso Shot, And I was telling him, when you go on live streams, at least once, even if there's an hour-long conversation, but if there's like a 3-minute little thing in there and you dump some value, you give like the 3 things that people should do, and then you like list them out, and then that's clippable. I'm like, if you have a clippable moment, just one of them out of a 1-hour space, that space is way more valuable than the countless Twitter spaces that go on and they go poof after and nothing comes of them and nothing exists afterwards, and that's it. So
dude, literally, I feel affirmed, because I told, obviously Trevor and I speak about like everything that's going on in Pizza Ninjas, and like I was telling about our first space, how it went. And as soon as the space ended, what I told him is, I feel like it was clippable. Like, I feel like there's clippable moments, and I feel like that's a success. I wake up the next day to Crypto Kermit clipping one of our discussions, and new people being like, "Oh, that's really cool vibe." Like I enjoyed like watching that and hearing that and whatever. And I was like, in my book, that's a win. Like that's more than just like content that was just seen by like just your circle, like you got out of your circle, somebody clipped it and whatever. So like, yeah, I feel affirmed by that.
Well, two things. I think what's cool about this is that we could see people commenting, so we could actually respond to them. Unlike Twitter Spaces, where it just kind of feels like there's speakers and listeners, we're actually like interacting with people, writing comments in our like little chat thing. And apparently, Big Ramborno just bought a ninja. So hey, Trevor, give us some commission here. Yeah. We need that residual income here.
Let's go. That's awesome. Welcome to the Pizza Ninjas. Welcome. Be sure to get verified in the Discord. We have a Pizza Ninjas chat, and we have a ton of whitelist giveaways like going on right now and that are about to be going on. Literally just announced like 2 in the last 2 days that are going to be pretty big, potentially pretty big. So yeah, check those out.
Giveaways are insane.
Lots of activations. Event coming up soon. Dude, I'm getting so excited. My camera died. I don't even know how that happened. Sorry about that.
Yeah, at least that's on brand.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, dude, that'd be kind of funny if like it was like not. It was like a random
Chris in like underwear or something, like that one video.
Yeah, good thing I had this backup ninja right here. I guess this is a signal that's 5 o'clock. Dude, my 6 o'clock, whatever time it is for you guys. My camera literally died like right when it was perfect timing. I do want to like hit the comments real quick. I did miss that 808 blockchain is hosting that event. That's what Chris brought up earlier on October 25th and 26th, 27th in Maui. Dude, that would be amazing. Get us out there, Trevor. Send this content squad. We'll bring a podcast set up and film it with 808 in Hawaii. The reopening of my Ordinals NFT gallery. That's awesome, man. Would love to go. Definitely some alpha there. Yeah, dude, if you need a shout out for this, you can clip this moment, post it, and I'll share it on all socials.
Let's go.
Vincent said he is in the Ninja. Amazing. It's so nice to have you, Vincent. I love your content. If you guys haven't checked out Vincent, he is one of the most consistent YouTube content creators on this space that I know. It's very hard to be consistent on YouTube about NFT and Ordinals content because there's just not a lot of people there to watch it. Right. You could put a lot of time, effort, and love into a video and get a couple hundred views, and you're just, you feel kind of bummed because like there's just not a lot of people on YouTube. But Vincent, time in and time out, multiple times a week, uploads videos. I don't even know he's still here. I know this is later, but I just have to have a huge shout out there. Video creators listening to Death Spaces like Chris, D. Man, we got so much in chat. Runestones for president. Some people ask about Mint. I'm not sure on Mint. So many vultures. Banana said. Holy crap, dude! This thing just like keeps going. I love.
You got a good show if people are talking to each other in the chat and having side conversations while you're having the main conversation. Like that.
Yeah, we're the side quest characters. We're the NPCs.
Yep. I love it, dude. I love it. Thank you guys so much for joining into the show tonight. We are doing great. I'd recommend you go check out some of the show if you missed it. 808, appreciate you joining in, brother. Holmez, GM. Yeah, guys. Every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern time, we go live. We talk about Pizza Ninjas. We talk about the latest that's going on in the space. We vibe. We have good times. We talk. We hang out. And that's really most important. Who bought the Ninja? Who'd you say about the Ninja? Oh, there it is. Big Ramborno bought a Ninja. Shout out to Big Ramborno. That's amazing. I'm gonna probably clip this and put you on our Twitter, Big Ramborno. That's amazing. Welcome to the Ninjas. So good to have you, brother, or sister, whatever. And yeah, that's about it. You guys got any final thoughts?
This was great, dude. No, I'm stoked. Go, everyone, go buy a ninja if you don't already have one. And if
Hey,
you have one,
you
buy
heard
another one.
you heard it from here first, from its coma first. Christy, go follow these gents on Twitter, on YouTube. They're making content all the time.